Welcome back, anglers. I'm the Survivalist, and we return to Russian Fishing 4. So, we're going to get the bottom fishing rods cast on the western little half of the map here. Well, I say half, it's more like just this little subsection here. Try and see what happens from there, and just kind of work slowly up and down it for a little bit and see if anything does happen as we're trying to get some catches. It is night, so I was going to say, so it's quite possible that spin casting isn't really going to bring too much in for us. But we'll still just try them and see what happens. There we go. And try with this too. And I kind of wish I had a little bit more to talk about, but things are, well, there's obviously not too much happening in-game to be able to talk about. I have some down the channel a little bit. I think I'm hitting a little bit like summer fatigue almost, where it's not too bad in... Oh, wow. Okay, we got something good on. Okay, see, I can't tell if it's pulling in line or we're actually reeling it in. I'm going to increase it a little bit. I don't want to go too hard with the friction brake. I see, this is one of the times where I could try... Oh, it's... Okay. This might be a pike on, because it's kind of giving me the feeling of, like, these really strong bursts of energy to fight against, but then it's also losing its stamina, too. I don't know if I want to go walking up the shore, though, because, like, I gotta go around this bush, and I don't know how that would do for, like, the tension of it. Yeah, let me... I almost heard like a little jump, so... Okay, are we actually... Okay, I think we are starting to realign in. I'm seeing the little line icon, or the real icon. It is starting to get some white back to it. We thankfully don't seem to have the friction brake overheating, which is good. But it is testing our gear pretty good here. You know, I'm going to try to walk up and see if I can see where it is, because we might actually be able to see it jumping a bit. Okay, where are you? So yeah, we're going to keep reeling in. Okay, let's get a lot of line back here. Okay, like how far did you manage to get on us? Okay, let's see where the line goes from here. Okay, Oh, okay, so it's somewhere right in front of us. And I want to be careful about, like, applying too much against it, because I don't want to lose this fish. I don't know how big it is, but it's easily given us the best fight we've had since we've come to this map. I think it's pretty tired out here, because it's not fighting quite as strong as it once... There it was. I think it is a fair-sized pike. I think if we just keep steadily reeling in like this, we might be able to just get it slowly in. I don't want to go, again, too hard, really working the rod and trying to bring it in, because that might just make it slip off. I'm glad the rod seemed to be the right fit to tackle however big this fish is. As I know when we were on, was it Rivulet or Mosquito Lake, there were a couple fish that just seemed like our gear was completely outclassed by what we were going up against. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, with it being right at the end here, I think I'm okay to... Yeah, it's looks like a fair-sized pike. Yeah, almost 2 kilograms. I think that's our biggest catch yet. We'll keep you and work our way back down to where the bottom rods were, because I think it was a good thing that I was reminded, how many weekends ago now, but that you can actually, like, move as you're casting. It's not like you are stuck in a single spot. Okay, right. Let me get the friction brake back down to... we'll do 20, just in case there is anything that might slip off easier. I can always increase it if needed. But see how it goes further. And I have to admit, with how long it's been since we've had a fish really test the equipment, I kind of forgot how the best way to approach it would be. Like, I didn't want it to slip off, so I wasn't sure if I should have tried pumping the rod in order to try to keep it from getting too far. Oh, I think that's what you're supposed to do, is once it gets to the orange, maybe not to reel it in, but just, like, pump the rod to kind of, like, keep tension and wear the fish out, and then reel in after that decreases again. Again, it's a case of either look up to have all the information and you're basically following a walkthrough, or the game itself doesn't provide that much for, like, direction. But we'll give a few more goes here and see what else we might be able to get lucky with. Morning is coming out, so maybe with more lighting we'll see more action. Maybe we'll give it a couple more casts, and then we'll go a little bit along the shoreline. And one more tryout. Okay, we'll bring that in. Yeah, I didn't hear anything from the bottom rods, so I think it's safe to say we can bring those in without any issue. And then we'll go a little bit along and try at another spot. At least for a map like Belaya, because you are basically stuck on this little island, there's only so many areas you can try along or around it. It's not quite like Mosquito Lake where you have all the coastline and then also the interior to try at too. It does make me wonder how big Old Burg might be of a map and like how many spots there will be to try there. But we'll get to that next weekend again. Okay, I will put you away. Let's grab this one. Nothing on it. Didn't think there would be. On the one hand, I'm tempted to switch out from the caster we're using to something else, but I think it might be better just to keep what we've got going. Again, instead of chasing too many variables at once, just try to see if we can find a spot that might produce. Hey, that came in nice and quick. Okay, so let's see. Again, I'm always a little nervous about casting through some of that, just because if we do get a snag, it's a little harder to get out. But yeah, this will be good enough. And tighten that up. There we go. And truth be told, I don't know if I want to do a power cast out, because I almost feel like I want to hit the middle in between these two areas. I feel like that might be more like again, the fallacy of deeper water, more fish, etc. fit in it, but I think for this, I do want to try going as far as I can. Just because you can see all of the weeds in that on the opposite end. Opposite side, not really an end. I know it's semantics, but I still will catch myself on dumb stuff like that. We'll try here for 5 minutes or so, see if anything happens, and then maybe we'll even try one more spot a little further down. And then, I guess just sell off our 2 fish, really. I don't know if we'll... with the size of the pike, unless they're looking for... see, with the cafe here, I think it expects you to have much better gear than I have, so it probably is asking for, like, really big catches. I mean, truth be told, it's not like 2 kilograms. Is that... I guess depending on the species, it can be big. I don't really think for a pike it is, though. Well, we'll just give it a few tries and see if anything does happen here. But after Old Burg, I'll have to kind of see what I want to do for, like, the weekends. It's been nice to have a fishing series going alongside a hunting one. The two do go pretty hand in hand with each other, but I don't know, again, exactly what I want to approach for that. I do feel with having stuck around for... well, it's probably going to get close to, if not over, 60 episodes straight of Russian Fishing 4. I do feel like I could use a little bit of a breather from it. I know I only tackle it, like, on the weekends, but it's still something... for having gone that long with it, I feel like I could use a little bit of a change to something else. Even if it's not for very long, like only a couple of weeks or so. Just a little bit of variety or change might help. But again, I don't know if I should do another fishing series or I should look at something else. And then I have taken a little bit of a break for the main week run. Instead of 2 videos per day for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I just slimmed down to 1. I know there are some long series I'd like to do or will tackle. I'm thinking System Shock 2 is one that I've had a request for a while. I might save that kind of to October-ish, just because a lot of the themes can kind of feel horror-esque, so I think that one might be a good one to tackle during Spooky Month. Monster Hunter World Iceborne ICE is another one I've been putting off. It's... again, I gotta figure out when to do it, just because it's one that, as long as I just tackle the story stuff, it might not be too bad, but then there's also the question of going into, well, then do you also do the Guiding Lands, do you also do Safijiva, do you do Kulturoth, Elatrian, everything, or do you just do the main story bits? And it's like, I honestly don't know. If I do tackle all the endgame stuff, I kind of need to make sure I have gear for endgame, which adds on to more time I'll need, and... yeah, that's the can of worms for that. That, and I think, too, I just am suffering a little bit of fatigue and use a small bit of breathing room. Just in trying to think of, like, what I want to do and how I want to enjoy stuff. Yeah, we're getting basically towards the 5 minutes at this spot, so once I bring this line in, we'll bring the other 2 in and move down further as well. Well, that's a little bit of insight to some stuff there. And the channel, it was going pretty steady for a while. I think thanks to Inscription, I was bringing in quite a few subscribers. I would love to bring it back as like a stream series, where almost like we's community can build decks and see either how good we are or how poorly our decisions go. But yeah, until then, I don't know if I want to keep doing it on the channel too much or not. Because, truth be told, that could be another can of... oh, there's actually a fish on this. I didn't realize. Inscription can be like a can of worms, where I start with one deck builder, and then I can get into a whole genre, and possibly with all kinds of other series. That's kind of like... I could do that, too, with, like action roguelites. Those are one of my guilty pleasures. What are you? A rough? Yeah, it is a little rough. But I don't know how well they super do on the channel, so it's always a question of, do I do this for myself and possibly the channel suffers a little bit and stutters, or do I tackle more towards helping the channel go up and from there? Again, I'm kind of in a weird spot right now. I'm at a spot where I wish I had the streaming options and I could get along a little further with that. I know I should be at that point, but things have kind of come up that have made it not quite as approachable as I expected it to be, with, like, just reaching that 1,000 subscriber mark. And maybe we'll make this the last spot we work at today. Oh, no, I need the other bottom rod. There you are. And cast you out. Tighten that up. I wonder if those guys are just always flying over that area, or that's like a sign of there's something over this way you should be trying for. Because stuff like that would actually be nice little subtle hints on the map of like, oh, well, I see what we got. Oh, yeah, there we go. Got a fish on here. Let's go and say little subtle touches like that, like birds flying over. You can see an insect swarm over a spot in the water. You can see a lot of ripples at certain areas. Little clues that are like, okay, if you watch them, there's something to try fishing at and see what you get from them. Is this a roach? Kinda looks like, I think it is a roach. Yeah, just a common roach. Well, I think it's one of the first ones we caught on this map. But again, just like little environmental touches that can help kind of clue you into, okay, this location is something to try at. Not necessarily what gear to use at the spot, but at least a little hint to there's something probably worth your time to try at over here. We'll keep going for a few minutes here, just see what happens. And then bring everything in and just, I would say cash in, but to be honest, it's more like we're getting some nickels and dimes, I think. The pike might go for a few silver. But other than that, I don't know about the rest. Apparently, if you do know the setup for the rough and like what they really like, Belaya River, I think that's what it is. God, I can't even remember what the name of the map is. Shows how fried my brain is. I'm pretty sure it's Belaya. But if you know what the proper setup is to go after a rough, apparently there are fish you can grind on this map and get a decent little chunk of profit in from. But again, it is look up the info, find out the gear, find out locations, and just play to the walkthrough, and there you go. Maybe we'll try switching up the lure after this cast to see about trying something else. I mean, not that we have a lot of time before we'll be done this episode, but it doesn't hurt just to try swapping out. Trying to think if there's anything like specific that just trying to like think about it logically, what would be a good option to pick here? You want something that'd be pretty visible, so I'm thinking like really bright colors. But I'm almost wondering if I should try to find something as a little bit extra too. Like these spoons are way too big to use. I was trying that. I think that's too heavy. Yeah, that's too heavy for our gear. I wonder if I should try... You know what? I haven't tried the spin shot here. The golden red mix. This was producing perch pretty reliably on Winding Rivulet, so we'll see what happens on this map if it does anything. Truth be told, I think we have caught a few perch on this map, so we might just see more of them, but at this point, with only 4 fish in the keep net, it might not hurt just to get anything. We'll give it a few casts and then bring it all in and end things. Oh. Well, finally got a little bit of something to the rod, although doesn't look like it's anything like we can work at, or... Oh, that is, though. Let me set that down, and let's bring you in. Yeah, we'll probably just... I don't think we'll cast back out. We'll just wait till we bring whatever this is in, leave the other bottom rod out, and go for a few more minutes. I will probably have to make more ground baits, although we'll do that next weekend when we do go to Old Burg. And it looks like this might just be another little roach. Or a gibble carp. Just a little gibble. Okay, well, we'll put that away. Keep trying with this one for a little bit longer. And then see if anything does happen to that other bottom rod we've got in. You know what, maybe we'll have this as our last cast, too. Just because I don't know if we will see anything on the other ones, since it took so long for that first rod. And again, I don't want the episodes to go too long with nothing happening. It'd be different if, again, it was a little more reliable, that I figured out the full tricks and could keep fish coming in, but... Oh, that's a good sign. We got something on that rod. Okay, let me... You know what? Before it possibly gets off, let's work on it right now. I don't know what it is. My guess is it might just be another roach, could be a gibble carp. But we'll bring it in and see what we're looking at. Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks... It's small, whatever. Oh, I think it's like a really pathetic little gibble. Yeah, it is. Yes. Not even 60 grams. You tiny little bugger, you. Well, actually, I didn't realize it also tells you, like, the length of the fish, too, when you look at them. I should check that pike out and see how long, or how large it says it is. And we'll bring this in. Okay, put that away. So let me check for that pike. 51 centimeters, so not quite 2 feet. Yeah, so let's see. That's workshop, tackle store, grocery store, cafe, fish market. That's what we're looking for. Oh no, actually I wanted to hit a cafe just to see if there is actually anything we've got. Gudgeon. We need 5 roughs for that. We need 7 roaches. We need 1-eyed, oblique. You need a 14 kilogram pike, but then you would make a crap ton. And then, oh, if you got a taimen, jeez. Yeah, our gear is nowhere near that. So all we can really do is just fish market. So that pike is $5.28. Might be most expensive fish we'll sell. Nope, apparently something else was bigger and sold for more. But we'll end this episode of Russian Fishing 4 right here. And next weekend we will go to Old Burg Lake and see how we do there. But thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Russian Fishing 4. If you liked the video, be sure to give a like. And until I do see you all in the next video or episode, anglers and survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy angling.